This technical difficulties we always love.
Well,
But
yeah,
you hear me clear, I hear you clear. We are set to go, I think.
good,
Well,
good.
everybody, we are welcome you again, and I'm sorry for this technical difficulties we are experiencing, but we can hear each other and see each other now clearly, Dr. Miles. So
Yes.
let's begin again and let's talk about fearless because this time what we are living in, it is
Yeah.
important to be fearless. And fearless not necessarily mean to not experience or feel fear, because we can feel the fear and we can be discouraged, but in the midst of it all, we can push through it and be fearless because we are brave and courageous, correct?
That is true. And I would remind all of our listeners that we cannot be fearless on our own. We just don't. We're not capable of that. Paul tells us we're fighting against spiritual things in high places, and so uh, being fearless and saying, I can just stand on my own, we can't. We have to have the help of the Holy Spirit. But in doing so, now we got power, and
That's
we can become fearless.
I have this amazing book this I have in front of me, and the book is what you have wrote, Conquering Fears, Feelings, and Emotions. And I just wanted to read segments from this amazing book because it's really this book. You like you mentioned before in the first video that it took a lifetime for you to write this book because it took a lifetime to know what it truly means to conquering fears, feelings, and emotions and be fearless. But here in this segment, it says the causes of fear. In order to overcome fear and indication, we first need to understand what causes fear and some of the side effects that are produced. Fear is always based on the unknowing or the uncertain. As mentioned earlier, fear and anticipation often produces anxiety, and anxiety will then produce the what if scenario. As a result of anxiety, we often find ourselves withdrawing from the elements around us, and then timidity sets in. Fear has now caused us to hide away from our circumstances and to excuse ourselves from taking action. We are now trapped with our thoughts, and since we have no real answer, we now become quiet and withdrawn and very subjective in our thought process. We find ourselves avoiding places and people who ordinarily would not affect us. Even the slightest solutions now bring our extreme anxiety, in many cases, and panic. Oh my gosh, Dr. Miles. This is like you looked into the future by the help of the Holy Spirit and was writing this for such a time as this.
Isn't it? How the Lord does those. I discovered in almost 40 years that we all are made alike, but we don't find yet there are symptoms that all of us have. I mean, anxiety, everybody has some anxiety. There are people who have more. They, we all get depressed sometimes, but there's people who get over depression. But the interesting thing, you brought it up there from that segment in the book, the interesting thing is it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. And we get in that what if syndrome that I'm in. And now instead of yielding to the things we know, we yield to the things we feel. And well, how accurate is that? So now we can be manipulated. And society today, I tell you, Satan, and he's gotten overtime manipulated society. But yes, all of us deal with those.
And not just all of us deal with the things. Let me take this off.
We've lost the sound again. Can you hear me? It's a beautiful picture,